Art Sports. We're here with the great Fernando Vargas. Man, that was great catching up right there with Michael Nunn. That was cool going down memory lane there, man.
Yeah, man, Michael Nunn is a badass. You know what I mean? If you know your boxing, you know who Michael Nunn is. You know what I mean? And so, he's a former Olympian also. So, just talking boxing.
Yeah, man, we talked about the Trinidad fight. I got to talk about it. You said you were young. You were on a tear at the time. You beat Winky, beat Corte, Raul Marquez, Jory Boy, I want to say already. Well, one of my boys, he loves that fight, and he always loves it. And I feel, why didn't you hit Trinidad back on the belt?
On the balls? Because I wasn't taught to be a dirty fighter. But he knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? I got hit low plenty of times, and after the fight, you could ask my wife about how bruised my balls were in my groin area, but what are you gonna do? He won, and it is what it is.
Man, obviously your three boys are fighting this Saturday. Well, when was your earliest inclination that not only do the boys want to fight, but man, it feels like this is not even what dreams are made of. This is even beyond that.
I didn't even. Everybody says, things that I'm the one that wanted them to fight and push them to fight. None of that's true. I did everything, but I would put my luck. All my kids have been athletic. The Vargas blood, regardless of whether my dad was never part of my life, he must have been athletic, or because I heard he used to play soccer, and he was part of my life, and he died a few years back, and he was never part of my life, so it was not like something that, oh wow, I was crying over because he was my, no, none of that, because he's never there. But I just remember at a young age, I was great at sports. As at school, I get all the records of pushes, pull-ups, dips, a mile. I was not good at the 50-yard dashes or 100-yard dashes because the brothers were quick at that and I wasn't. So you guys all got out of those. I did the mile and I was fast. I did the mile. I was at all the records of. And to me, I just trip out on this because I just think to myself, if I would have been if my mom would have put me on football, because I was good at football, I would play tackle football at the park with the ball. I always made touchdowns. So I just always had the athleticism. Everything. I always had A's in PE as a kid. Fast forward, I started, I started seeing my kids, I started taking them, I put them in everything but boxing. My mom, actually my wife, put them in football, Pop Warner football, and if Junior and Amado did not make 3 touchdowns a game, it was not a game. Damien would make 3 touchdowns a game minimum. And I'll be like, that's right. That's my DNA, that's my bloodline. That's right. Vargas time, baby. So it's in the Vargas blood. It's crazy. So then, Junior playing Pop Warner football, Amado playing Pop Warner football. Then they get into basketball. Junior was the only Mexican on our black team. That'll tell you something. Basketball. All right, so the athleticism always been in there. The Vargas blood, and it's just it trips me out. So I was very athletic as a kid, and I always had all the records, like I said, and I opened up a gym in Las Vegas, and to make a long story short, somebody came in and they wanted to spar with Junior. And Junior was not even sparring, it wasn't even boxing. But I taught them how to throw their hands, just basic, because, just so they can know and have understanding, just in case they got into a street fight, because they were going to get tested once in a while. And then they're going to be everybody's going to like you. So once in a blue moon, or if not in many moons, he's going to, fight somebody. And so I taught him how to throw his punches correctly. And he started, the guy came in, wanted to spar, and he goes, son, this guy wants to spar. You want to spar? This guy says he wants to spar. He's a novice. He wants to spar somebody in the gym. He goes, I'll spar. Boom! Knocks him down with the left hand. So I was a southpaw. I was that's weird because we don't have no southpaws in my family, and he looks like his dad, so he can't say he's not mine. So he's a southpaw with power, and I taught him how to box. To use his boxing ability. He made it to to the trials. He beat some dude that I know that, it's politics in amateur boxing. So, he did his thing, and then when it's time to jump pro, the pandemic hit, and so we started going to teachers, to the fights, and I, got them a little money for them fights, and then, next thing you know, we get with the Climas, Igis Climas, and Jose de la Cruz, and now we're here, and we're on an amazing platform, and we're good to go. You know what I mean? It's like, it just shows you what. See, my dad was never around because drugs and alcohol and the prison life was more important. And you can say what you want to say that it wasn't, but if it wasn't, you would have been right here for me and my sister, and you never were. So it's very important. I think that you can't have a woman teach you how to be a man. And my mom's a strong woman and everything. I love you, Mom, but she could never teach you how to be a man at the end of the day. So.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Your boys are dedicated.
It hits different when you didn't have it. So, when I get commended and I get people tell me that you're such a great dad, thank you. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not perfect by any means. But one thing is that my kids can never say that I'm not present, because I'm there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm always going to be there for them. If something happens to my kids, I'm the type of dude, I'm the type of man, but it was me.
It's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful that you are that father for your kids, man. I got to ask you, this past Saturday, Canelo lost to Bivol. Maybe bit off a little too much, at 175. But what did you think of his performance in that fight?
Look, you got to take your hand off to Canelo. There's no other Mexican fighter that's ever done what he's done out of Mexico. So he's the best fighter that Mexico has ever had. Even if he's quits today, he's the best fighter that Mexico's ever had. And I'm a Chavez fan. And Chavez my idol. Chavez my idol. So, but I'll be less than solid to say any way different that he isn't the best fighter that Mexico's ever had. I'll be less than solid, and I'm not. So I have to say the truth that he's the best fighter that Mexico's ever had.
Would you recommend Canelo go down to 168? Or
yeah, go down to 168, and he's undisputed at 168. So why not? I just think that it was just too much weight. Dude's too big. If he fights at that weight, where he's walking around 230, 240, getting down to that weight.
Well, at 168, who is the best fight to make with Canelo at that weight class?
Benavidez. And Benavidez is the only dude that can give him a fight.
How does that go?
I mean, I like both of them. I think that both of them are great fighters. I don't want to say who I think will win, but I think it'll be a great fight for boxing.
Definitely. Fernando, thank you so much for your time, man, and I'm sure my friend would want me to tell you that you should have hit Trinidad in the balls right away. but you're an honorable guy. You're an honorable guy.
And you know what's crazy? I never thought about it.
Really?
I never thought hitting him in the back end. Like when he was giving the balls, and I never thought about it. But in a street fighter, believe me, I would have done that shit.
There you go. Appreciate it.